Welcome to King County at your service. I'm Jackie Ablao. They are usually Metro bus drivers, but COVID has put the brakes on many services and jobs. But drivers have found a way to help, and it just may save your life.
We're not Santas, but hopefully we are part of the solution. My name is Gina, free mask and hand sanitizers from King County, and I usually drive a Metro bus, but today I'm giving out masks to try to make sure that everybody is masking up and being safe. Sir, free mask, hand sanitizer, give you a couple.
Thank you.
Have a good day.
Man, would you like some free masks from King County? Passing them out free. You're welcome. Yeah, happy holidays. Just trying to do what the Salvation Army lady's doing too, just like spread some good holiday cheer a little bit. Pass them out free.
Free?
Yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, that's the best, right?
Always
Yeah.
take free.
All righty, yeah, good to see you. Happy holidays. Just kind of be a little bit of a bright spot in people's day, especially now with the isolation and quarantine. Like, I might be the only interaction that person has the entire day.
I think the concept of the health ambassadors just kind of tells the story. So Metro was looking to lay off some part-time employees due to COVID. And as we looked at our response, I think we saw that there was a need on the prevention side. And so what we were able to do is allow those drivers who are getting laid off to opt in to this health ambassador program.
Free mask.
We pass out a lot of masks. We go to stores, parks, transit centers.
Free mask, my friend, King County.
We've done drive-through pop-up events where people have come through in their cars and ambassadors are handing out masks. And then we also do mobile outreach where we've hit long stretches throughout South King County, Rainier Avenue and International Boulevard, Pacific Highway.
Yeah, how many in your household? Did you want a couple of them?
Just my husband and I.
All right, here, take one more for your husband.
Thank you.
Yeah, there's 2 masks in there and a hand sanitizer.
So right now we are right about 30,000 masks a week.
If we all wore them, it would really help a lot. If you don't believe, think about the other people, your family, your neighbor, your friend. Hopefully we're part of the solution.
Some for your passengers.
Oh, of course.
I enjoy being of service. That's why I wanted to be a bus driver. I like people putting smiles on people's faces. Free masks from King County. Just people need that positivity right now.
All right, thank you.
Thank you. Somebody pointed out one thing to me the other day that was like, we literally could be saving people's lives.
This is great government. Retaining talent, keeping people employed, also really turning into a community partner, trying to impact this pandemic that we're all fighting against.
Krannic Dairy has been in Enumclaw since 1912. This year, it's the Spellman Legacy Business Award winner.
The Krannick Dairy Farm is located amidst the flat, level farmlands known as the Enumclaw Plateau, a scenic area nestled against the foothills of the Cascades in the shadow of Mount Rainier.
Welcome everybody to Krainick Dairy in Enumclaw, Washington. My husband Mike and I are the 3rd generation operators of this farm.
Cows are being fed as we speak. I see a milk truck out front waiting to pick up our milk. Things are happening, so it's all good.
Anyone who has lived in the Enumclaw area for a while knows of the Krainick Dairy Farm.
Mike's grandfather originally immigrated from Slovenia. He purchased the original 80-acre property and 13 cows. And a lot of these girls here, if you look way back in their lineage, they date clear back to the original herd in 1912. I know, right?
My dad, in his early years, oxen were common, believe it or not. It's come a long ways.
The John D. Spellman King County Executives Award for Legacy Business acknowledges the vital role long-standing businesses play in really maintaining the cultural identity and heritage of a community. And this year's Legacy Business Award is going to the Krainick family for maintaining the operation of this dairy farm for over 100 years.
Congratulations to Mike and Leann. We are so grateful for your work as you recognize our long history of agriculture in the county.
50 years ago, just here in Enumclaw, we had over 500 dairies, and now we're down to a dozen. Being a dairy farm is definitely a community, and those communities are several. Our employees, many of our workers have been here for 10 years or more. We partner with a lot of local breweries in the Puget Sound area, and we feed their spent grain. So that's a way of recycling. And the manure from these girls helped grow the 3rd largest pumpkin ever grown in 2017.
I would say the majority of the people in and around our community really appreciate what we do, how we do it.
You know, we produce about 10 to 12,000 gallons of milk just at our farms every day. We've had friends and neighbors that moved here and they say, you know, I used to think I would hate living by a dairy farm because of the smell, but now I really like it, and I know that after I'm gone on a long trip for work, I know when I'm almost home because I smell your farm. And so we kind of take that as a compliment.
Mukai Farm Garden celebrates Vashon's Japanese American and agricultural heritage. This year, it is also a Spellman Award winner for restoration.
Mukai Farm Garden is located on beautiful Vashon Island between Seattle and Tacoma. The island is connected to both cities by ferry. Mukai Farm is a little north of the center of the island, in an area that's been used for agriculture since the 1880s.
The first Japanese who came to Vashon Island were farm laborers coming to America to find a better life for themselves, and they launched a very thriving agricultural community.
B.D. Mukai came as an immigrant without speaking the language at all and blossomed into one of the most successful strawberry farmers on Vashon. He developed an innovative way of packing the strawberries himself here on the site, and once the berries were packed here, they were shipped all over America.
This garden was designed and put into place by Krainick Mukai, the wife of B.D. Mukai.
As far as we know, it's the first Japanese garden designed by a woman in America.
I'm so pleased to be here today to talk about the recognition of the Mukai Farm Garden. The John D. Spellman Award for Restoration acknowledges the vital role landmark stewards play in reviving and continuing the cultural heritage of a community. This year's John D. Spellman Award for Restoration goes to the Friends of Mukai for their exceptional work in restoring the Mukai Garden on Vashon Island.
This is an example of a local farm with a lot of important history.
We're telling a story of what was here, back in the garden's inception. It's a place that needs to be preserved, and it deserves to be preserved.
In 2016, the Friends of Mukai started to restore the house. We've restored a major part of the garden, and we're now moving ahead to restore the fruit-bearing plant.
We can take pride and joy in what's done. Now it's our generation's responsibility to maintain it and push it forward.
If the pandemic has taught us anything, it's to always be prepared. We can start by knowing about the hazards around us.
Hi there. Thank you for coming to King County Emergency Management's virtual disaster preparedness training. I'm Disaster Ready Danny, and you might remember me from our previous video series where other King County emergency management experts taught me and you the basics about disaster preparedness. Well, I've learned a thing or two since then, and now I'm ready to teach you a little bit more about how to be King County ready. Today, we'll be joined by my coworker and mentor, Sophia Lopez.
We rolling? All right.
And a small audience who will be joining us virtually to ask questions throughout the presentation. And by you, of course. So let's get right to it.
We get prepared for work. We get prepared for school. Why not get prepared for that which could be the most devastating? But before you can get prepared, you have to ask yourself, what are you preparing for? So I'm going to ask you, what hazards are you at most risk for?
Flooding, power outages,
snowstorms, earthquake,
wildfires, landslides.
In King County, we're prone to quite a few different types of disasters, both natural and man-made. One tool that you can use to help you really hone down what are you at risk for is the hazardready.org website. You can go and input your personal address or your work address. And when you click on each of those tabs, you can then see what is the level of risk. Are you at a low risk, a medium, or high risk for that specific hazard at that specific address? In King County, the biggest threat that we are preparing for is that of an earthquake. It's not a matter of if, but when. I'm gonna ask Danny to talk to you a little bit more about what exactly are we looking at when we plan for earthquakes.
Thanks, Sophia. So when it comes to earthquakes, there's really three main types that we need to know about. The first type is the shallow earthquake. These earthquakes happen pretty frequently, and you might not even know that they happened. The next type is a deep earthquake. This earthquake has a lot more potential for devastating effects on our society. One example of a deep earthquake is the 2001 Nisqually earthquake, which you might have experienced or already be familiar with. This earthquake caused a lot of damage to our region, and similar earthquakes of this type can have the same potential for negative impacts. Following the deep earthquake, we have to worry about the subduction zone earthquake here in the Pacific Northwest. The subduction zone earthquake is the big one that we hear a lot about. The Cascadia fault line sits off the coast of Washington and is a 700-mile-long fault line with the potential to create a 9.0 earthquake or even higher. This earthquake would substantially change life for us here in King County, and planning for it pretty much makes us ready for any other type of disaster, considering how impactful and how dangerous this particular disaster would be. So I guess the first question is, what should you do while an earthquake is happening?
Should you go to a door frame?
That's a popular answer. Once upon a time, the messaging was to go to a door frame, but now, nationally, we are actually recommending that you drop, cover, and hold on. So let's break that down. Drop, cover, hold on. What does that mean? When the shaking starts, drop to the floor, get cover underneath the nearest table, and then hold on to it to make sure that the surface of the table stays over your head and provides coverage from any falling objects that might injure you.
What if I can't get under the table?
If you can't get under a table within 3 seconds or 3 steps of an earthquake starting, you need to drop, cover, and hold on where you are. And you're holding on to yourself. You're covering and curling into a ball. You're protecting your head, your neck, and your vital organs. This is why you curl up.
I know someone in a wheelchair or a walker. What do?
For those in a wheelchair, you need to sit and stay in your wheelchair and lock your wheels and tuck and cover your head. Should you use a cane, use your cane as a resource to help you get down to the ground as best and safely as you can. The goal is to protect your vital organs, protect your neck, protect your head.
So what if I'm outside hiking in the woods?
If you find yourself outside when the shaking starts, drop, cover, and hold right where you are. You are safer protecting your vital organs than if you try to run during an earthquake.
What if I'm in a car?
You need to pull your vehicle over and stay in your vehicle. You are safer pulling over and staying in your vehicle until the shaking stops.
Thanks for joining us for King County at your service. Visit us online at kingcounty.gov/KCTV. I'm Jackie Ablao. See you next time.